Hi, I'm Peggy Kelly. This is Good Morning Santa Paula. It's a new show that we're trying to get going, and of course now that we've got the coronavirus, the COVID-19 outbreak, we're kind of focusing on updating things like that. Our guest today is Dr. Ed Cora, who's the superintendent of the Santa Paula Unified School District, the largest one in the valley here. And he's going to update us on what's going on with the schools. We are social distanced. Don't touch. We are social distanced, though. We're about 6 feet. That's what people are doing now, and that's what you have to do. And I'm sure you washed your hands. I washed my hands, and a lot of this is really having an impact on families and especially educational. So, Dr. Cora, could you perhaps give us a little summary of where the district is at?
Sure, I'd like to start by everything is happening so quickly. It is changing daily, sometimes hourly, and we're receiving information and having to take that information and making decisions rapidly from the information that we're getting. I'll start by, there was a conference call that we had last Thursday with Dan Mantooth, the county superintendent, and we had all 20 county superintendents on the line at one time, and we talked about what was happening at that time. We were getting advice from the county public health, Dr. Levin, and based on the information that we got, we decided it was best to close at least for 1 week, coming back next week, which is this week, and making another determination moving forward. And so as far as yesterday, there was a statewide webinar with State Superintendent Tony Thurman and other experts, and they shared information with us regarding distance learning and how do we provide learning opportunities for students through all of this. Our county superintendents got on again, and again based on the executive order and the information that came from the state regarding the public health. And I think most people know that Governor Gavin Newsom said that we could possibly not come back for the rest of the year. We thought that was a little too strong at this time, but we did feel it was enough somewhere in between where a lot of the districts have spring break coming up. So we thought Friday, I believe it may be May 1st, but coming back on a Monday, May 4th for right now. And that's what the county superintendents all felt as a group that we should do at this time.
As the largest district, we also have Mupu and Briggs and Santa Clara, and they're also closed. But how many students does the district have? Santa Paula,
about 50, a little bit over 5,100 students.
5,100 students. Yes.
It's a lot of students, a lot of families.
And just for the short term, I know that we'll get into the educational nourishment, but they are doing something with their physical nourishment, and you're offering lunch and breakfast is included in the lunch bag in 2 schools. Which 2 schools are doing that?
We have Barbara Webster and Glen City School, and just today we served over 1,000 meals alone at Glen City School, and I want to say it was another 700 or 800 Barbara Webster. So that's just in one day. The first day on Monday, when it was raining hard most of the day, we had about I want to say it was about 726 meals total. But each day it has increased.
Now, are these packaged meals for the most part?
Yeah, for the most part. And in one bag, I was helping serve on Monday, and in one bag you have a breakfast and a lunch together.
Interesting, and that's a wonderful concept because I know this district has offered breakfast, which is, you know, kids can't learn unless they're nourished, as it were. And
we feel bad that the students are not here learning, that we're not here, that they're not here, and we can't take care of them. So what can we do the best that we can, and that is, at least for right now, provide the meals.
Absolutely. Now, now how does this affect your ADA? Let me ask you, as the ADA is explained to our audience.
Average daily attendance, and that's
average
how
daily
school
attendance.
districts get funded when students come to school. However, the state of emergency that we're in throughout the state of California and really throughout the nation, I don't know what other states are doing, but at least California, Governor Gavin Newsom signed an executive order and said that school districts will be funded because of this emergency.
I just wanted you to say it because it is important, because that is where the bulk of the district's funds come from. And actually, you might be on a little more cutting edge because you don't have all those absenteeisms that cut into the ADA that aren't official type of a thing, so, or at least not a doctor's note. So what are people, now we've got people, I know, I'm sure you've been worried, the Boys and Girls Club isn't open, these children, you know, which would defeat the purpose, because the whole purpose to this is to keep people as far away as humanly possible, and it's gotta be tough. Now, what role is the district going to take, though, in offering education during this
So, and there's two
shutdown?
things. Well, what I thought you were gonna ask, I thought you were gonna say something about some type of a childcare, and that's when I thought you said that it defeats the purpose. Because I know some parents are saying, I took a week off from school, or I took a week off from work, and, you know, can't the district provide childcare? That's when I thought you were saying about defeating the purpose. If we provided childcare, we'd be bringing students in,
Right.
and the opportunity for them to affect each other.
Right.
So, but as far as educationally, right now, parents can go to our website, santapaulaunified.org. They'll see a letter from me right below the pictures, and on the right-hand side, there's some tabs, and one of them is, I think it's educational opportunities, educational resources. They click on that link, and it takes them to a page where they can get some online enrichment activities. Nothing's getting great at this time.
Sure.
Our Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services, Christine Shefferly, is working on a plan, a phase 1, a phase 2, a phase 3, but we're working on that, so we're not quite there yet. I mentioned to you earlier before we came online that it's almost like building an airplane in midair, where we've never had distance learning, we've never had to.
Yes.
Students are here, they're in our schools, and all of a sudden now what colleges and universities provide, online learning, well, it took them years to develop that. Over the last several days, we've been scrambling to get something going, and it's gonna take a little bit of time, but we're working on it. But for right now, there's enrichment activities. Again, parents can go onto our website and click on the link, and they can get some, if they have internet access.
Okay,
That's
that was my
another thing
next
we're trying to work
question.
on.
Yes,
We're
absolutely.
we're about ready to send out a survey via phone, so this is a great opportunity for parents to hear this message. And so I'm hoping that the call will go out either late this afternoon or early tomorrow morning, or at least by tomorrow. And that is for, it's gonna be 2 questions. Do you have internet access at home? Press 1 or press 2, so they don't have to have it, because it's gonna be a phone recorded message.
Correct.
So please pick up your phone if you hear it ringing.
And this will be bilingually set
Yes,
up?
English and Spanish. And then the second question is, do you have a computer, a laptop, or a tablet available? Those 2 questions, the more answers we get back, the more information we'll get to start determining how many parents don't have internet access, how many parents don't have, or students don't have some type of a laptop or desktop computer. And the city, we're in conversations of how can we work together to help provide access for parents. So, and I know Blanchard Library is also trying to contribute. People are coming together, and this is all about people coming together right now. Not just in Santa Paula, throughout the state, throughout the world.
Yes, it really is.
People coming together and helping each other.
Yeah, it really is, and of course with our littlest ones, they don't quite understand, I'm sure, so I'm sure it's an effort to try to keep things as normal as possible
Exactly.
during this time, and not create any more fear that they might be feeling, because just things are different, you know, and they're not in school, and a lot of kids that just love going to school.
Yeah. The other thing that is a very important message, Peggy, that I want to make sure that I get out is sun shining outside, no school. It's not summer vacation, and it's really, we have to remember about the social distancing and keeping apart from each other. Because if kids are out playing amongst each other, and if adults are doing the same thing, the connections get made, and then the web starts.
Yes, that's very true. And I think that basically, I don't know, it's hard to tell because so many places are closed now. So, you know, I mean, and our retailers are all open though. I want everybody to remember that and make sure you go shop. As far as your restaurants, they've got takeout, they've got you know, deliveries, you know, your retailers, they're open. We've got our merchants, they're open, but our schools are closed. Our city hall is closed now. You know, that doesn't mean people aren't inside working. You know, we locked them in, you know, type of a thing, and they're in there and they're working, but there's a lot of things that are closed now. But, and now I forgot where I was going with that thought, but it's just that.
Being safe, all of us being safe.
Yeah,
Social
being safe,
distancing.
and that's it, and that's what the social distancing is, and then, yep, that 6 feet, and, it's just, it's hard to adhere to, it's hard to tell what people are doing in their neighborhoods in a way. So it's really hard to kind of get a grasp of how seriously people are taking it, but they certainly are being given every opportunity now where they don't have to interact with other people, and there's so many resources they can use, and hopefully helping their children and being able to have a relative, because thank goodness almost everybody has a relative that can come in with the kids.
Absolutely.
And so, now what's gonna happen with, I hate to bring it up, promotions and graduations? I know that's what, in June?
This is something that we always, one of the bright spots of education is honoring and recognizing students for their accomplishments. That's one of the things we absolutely love doing. There has not been any decision made to cancel anything at this time. However, as I mentioned earlier, as things keep evolving and things keep changing. As we get a little bit closer, if we feel that the extension of no school will go further on beyond May 4th, then we may have to do that, as heartbreaking as it may be.
Yeah.
That's not something we want to do, but again, there's no decision at this point. We just have to wait and see what happens and what continues to roll along here.
Would there be any way to maybe do a live stream from the graduates' homes or something, or at least?
We are always open. We're always open to some idea. You know, technology is something that we have to take as our friend right now, and how can we use technology to help us out through this? And so that, again, when we talk about the distance learning, and those are things that are coming, you know, we're working on that plan, but we have to use technology to our benefit.
How about, let's see, state CASP testing? Could you explain to our audience what
Sure.
CASP testing is?
State CASP testing is a test that students in grades 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and also in grade 11, they get tested in math, language arts, and science in 2 different grade levels. And it's the state's way of monitoring the progress of schools throughout the state of California, and it's all public schools. And that test is not going to be given this year.
Yes, that's completely suspended.
That's been suspended for this year.
Now, what about our students that are looking to enter colleges and maybe have to take the SAT or the pre-SAT or any of those others, advanced placement for that matter, taking testing for advanced placement classes in high school?
And this is where I'm going to cheat a little bit. I don't have the dates recognized.
Sure.
I'm going to read a couple of pieces of information. The College Board, which administers the SAT, has canceled the March 28th makeup and May 2nd SAT test dates, so they've been canceled. The next SAT date is scheduled for June 6th, and the registration deadline is May 27th. So that's important to let students know. And also, the April 4th ACT test date has been rescheduled to June 13th. So
Okay,
I
what
didn't
is
have those.
the ACT?
It's a test that gets taken by students at the high school level. And so both of those are areas that will help students get ready and to be able to apply to colleges.
Okay, let's say I'm 6 years old and I'm home, and I've got access to a computer, and I'm gonna go to school. What is the district, how will the district take care of me?
Okay, so ask your question again. 6-year-old child.
6-year-old child.
You have a computer at home?
Yes, I do have a computer.
Okay.
Yes.
And you're asking what can you do because you're at home, because you're not at school?
Right.
Okay.
What the school district might do, are we gonna maybe have teachers on the other end when I turn on the computer?
That's
that are
part
gonna-
of the plan that we're working on. We're not there yet. Again, I
Sure.
mentioned Monday was the very first day. Today's only Thursday, so we're into the 4th day right now. And that's, again, part of the plan is starting to get developed. And we're starting to work with teachers and pulling things together to make it so we have opportunities for students to learn from home, but we're not quite there.
Okay, and so I'm 6 years old, I'm still there at the computer now, I'm waiting to see what you guys are gonna do next, but, so what is my enrichment?
If you can go to our website, www.santapaulaunified, all one word, .org, you go to our homepage, and on the right-hand side.
And that's the one you spoke about
Exactly.
earlier. And what's gonna happen when I press that button?
Once you click on it, it'll take you to another page that gives you opportunities by different grade levels to be able to go to different learning opportunities online, and it's
Okay,
all enrichment.
wonderful. Uh-huh.
Multiple opportunities.
And by enrichment, you mean it's arts and?
No, enrichment meaning there's no grading to it. So it's
I
learning,
see.
it's
I
just
see.
learning,
Uh-huh.
language arts, math, but it's not graded. It's just,
Mhm.
right now at this time, it is for parents and students to get on and to work on their skills and practice their skills, but nothing is graded at
And
this
it's
time.
great too, because I think this will is, if there's any silver lining at this point, this will give parents more of a chance to maybe work with their kids on their activities and their schoolwork and get a little more involved, even though we've always been lucky in Santa Paula because we've got wonderfully involved parents and, you know, of course, we figure that's gonna go ahead. Now, anything else I haven't asked you that you should, maybe mention?
The only thing I want to mention is just, again, it's a reiteration of we care about all of our students, all of our parents, the families, the community here in Santa Paula, and we just want everybody to take precautionary measures to stay safe and healthy. And again, the social distancing, I'm going to repeat myself from what I said earlier. It may seem like, hey, the sun is shining, I got no school, let me go out and play with all my friends. We're trying to keep people, so
Yes.
parents have to remind their children, as hard as it may be, you gotta figure, Peggy, if we were kids, what do we wanna do right now? We wanna go out and play, I get that. But parents really have to push right now at this time, keep kids away from each other as much as possible, adults as much as possible, to prevent, and what they keep saying is to take that curve that's been increasing and
Correct.
flatten it out. Otherwise, that will continue to rise, and who knows what will happen.
So actually, are they saying now that it's, they want people to keep to groups of 10, or have they even said that they want them to not even, just to be separated as much as possible?
Separate as much as possible right now, the last I remember hearing was 10 or less,
Yeah, 10 or less.
or not at all.
Yeah, and
And
not
that's
at
really
all.
for essential meetings.
Sure, yeah, absolutely, and you know, I mean, with our own city council last night, what's gonna happen with your school board meetings?
Oh.
Because I noticed last night with the council, all the speakers called in, the press, you know, they all did it over the phone or via email or whatever.
Yep. As a matter of fact, for next week, we will probably have a board study session instead of a regular board meeting, and just talk about nothing but the coronavirus and what's
Right, I would
happening and
expect
where are we
as
going.
much.
That's
Uh-huh.
probably gonna be the only
Sure.
item, so, we will have to find, because people will not be able to come into the meeting, we have to find a way, using technology, to give them access to be able to make comments.
You know, I'm not sure what the city did, I think they might have just gone ahead and did phone-ins.
Mm.
And, you know, I'm not positive, but I know that several of them were on the phone.
And I have a meeting tomorrow with City Manager Dan Singer, so I'll ask him
Oh,
about that.
okay, yes, absolutely. I watched it from my office. You know, I was on deadline, so I was watching it from the office. So I think that probably, is there anything else, or?
I do want to say something else. I want to thank you and Santa Paula Times for doing a wonderful job.
Oh, thank you.
For putting out the paper twice a week and just doing a great job. And the
Thanks.
whole back section with Dan Diaz and the sports.
Oh, I know, he does a wonderful job.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
thank
he
you very
does.
much to
Yes.
you, the staff, Dan.
Thank you.
And again, to our students and our families. Please stay safe, stay healthy, and go onto our website and go onto those resources and use the enrichment activities that are there for you, and practice, practice, practice. And we hope to have you back as soon as possible.
Bye-bye, and wash your hands.